The night of return. The street was wet. Not from rain but from the kind of mist that clung to your skin like disappointment. Denis walked slowly, hands in pockets, the collar of his jacket turned up against the chill. He wasn't drunk, but he wished he was. Behind him their apartment, their kitchen, their shared bed, and her legs wrapped around another man. His best friend. It wasn't the act that crushed him, it was the sound. The breathy, soft sound. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. She never made with him. That sound tore something inside him open. Something that wouldn't be stitched back together the same way. So now the night, the street, and a pair of heels, clicking behind him. Rough night. The voice was velvet. Amused. Sultry. He turned. She stood under the glow of a street light like it was a spotlight made for her. Tight leather pants. Long black coat. Red lipstick that didn't beg, it dared. I've had better, Denis muttered, trying to thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Walk past. But she stepped in front of him. Then let me give you one that ruins all the rest. Her name was Karina. And her eyes said, I see what broke you. Let me burn it away. She didn't ask where he lived. She simply walked beside him in silence like the night had stitched her to his shadow. They turned a corner. Dim alley. Graffiti. A flickering light near the building entrance. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. It buzzed, like it too was losing its mind. Karina leaned against the door frame, her breath forming pale clouds in the cold air. You still want to forget her? She asked. Denis looked at her lips, then at her eyes. He didn't answer. He just stepped forward and kissed her, not like a man kissing a woman, but like a man setting a match to gasoline. Her lips were soft, but the kiss was brutal. Desperate. Full of everything he didn't say when he found thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Them in bed. She moaned into his mouth, her fingers already unzipping his jacket, pulling him inside, not into a room, but a darkened stairwell that smelled of stone and old heat. She pressed him against the wall, her thigh sliding between his legs, grinding slow and deliberate. You needed this, she whispered, biting his lower lip. You need to feel wanted. To feel powerful again. And then she dropped to her knees. In the cold stairwell, knees to the dusty concrete, she looked. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Up at him as she undid his belt, not like a servant, but like a priestess preparing an offering. His breath hitched as she took him in slowly, deliberately, never breaking eye contact. She moved with rhythm, her hands gripping his thighs, her mouth wet, warm, relentless. Every emotion, betrayal, rage, humiliation, poured into her mouth like he was trying to wash it all out of himself. He groaned, fingers tightening in her hair, but just as the pressure built to breaking. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. She stopped. With a wicked smile, she stood, wiped the corner of her mouth with her thumb and said, "Not here. You're not allowed to come yet." Denis was breathless, angry, wild. Karina kissed him again, slow now, teasing. "I want your wife to feel what you felt," she whispered. "But you're not ready yet." The rooftop wasn't locked. Karina somehow knew how to get there silently, effortlessly. She climbed the stairs like a predator. Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Followed like a man who had lost everything, and just found something far better. The city stretched before them, pulsing with neon, noise, and invisible heat. Lights. Distant music. Smoke rising from chimneys. And then a soft drizzle began. Gentle rain, not enough to run, just enough to feel cinematic. "Take off your shirt," Karina said. He did. She pressed her palms against his chest, not gently, but with purpose. Her fingers moved downward, smearing droplets across his skin like war. "Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Paint. Karina stepped closer, so close he could smell her perfume under the rain. Then she slipped a jacket over his shoulders, his or hers. He couldn't tell, and whispered in his ear, "I want her to see how you were meant to be touched." And like the universe was in on the performance, a door opened one level down, across the narrow courtyard. His wife, standing on the balcony, wearing a robe, holding her phone, frozen. "Thank you for trying, verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased." Her eyes locked on him, on them high above, under the stormlight. Karina saw her, and smiled, not cruelly, but calmly. Then turned back to Denis and whispered, "Now. She's watching. Let her learn what it feels like to be forgotten." Denis didn't hesitate. He lifted Karina onto the concrete slab of the rooftop vent, her back arching toward the city, her legs wrapping around his waist. Rain soaked them both, trickling down skin and lips and clothes barely clinging on. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Karina unfastened her leather pants slowly, daringly, her pale thighs gleaming. She didn't ask. She just held his gaze and pulled him into her. He entered her in one deep, controlled thrust. She gasped a sound that cut through the rain, through the city noise, through memory. That sound. The same one he heard from his wife, except this time, it belonged to him. Karina moaned into his ear, her nails clawing into his back. They moved together in thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Sync, in rhythm, in rage, and release. The city was their audience. But it was his wife who was the real witness. He didn't look away from her, not out of spite, but truth. He wanted her to feel the weight of being unwanted. Karina's breath became erratic. Her voice broke into trembling gasps. He held her tighter, lifted her higher, and slammed into her with purpose, not violence, but dominance. Power. Clarity. When he came, it wasn't quiet. It thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Was a release loud enough to silence the world for a moment. Karina's body shuddered around him, legs tightening as she moaned into his neck. Then stilled. Down below, his wife just stood there. No yelling. Just silence. Shock. And he felt free. The rooftop was quiet now. The rain had stopped. Only the slick shimmer of wet concrete remained, and the occasional drip from an overhang. Below, the city buzzed, distant and unimportant. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Karina leaned back on her elbows, legs still tangled around his waist, hair sticking to her cheeks and neck. Neither of them spoke for a while. When Denis finally helped her down, she didn't straighten her clothes. She walked barefoot to the far edge of the roof, completely unbothered, radiant in the chaos she had just created. He followed. They stood side by side, looking out over the skyline. His heart was still racing, but not from anger this time. It thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Was something else now. Something quieter. You good? She asked. He looked at her. Her lips were slightly swollen. Her eyes calm. Her chest still rising and falling with the rhythm of their last breaths. I think I am, he said. And he meant it. Karina turned toward him and reached under her jacket, slipping it off. Her top went with it, now gone, discarded, forgotten. She was bare from the waist up, nipples taut from the breeze. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. You sure? She whispered, stepping closer. He answered with his hands. They found her hips first, then her waist, then her breasts warm, soft, alive. She pushed him gently backward, toward a patch of dry concrete behind the roof's ventilation unit. He sat. She straddled him. This time, there were no spectators. No lights. No audience. Just skin on skin. Breath on breath. Moans muted by the open sky. She rode him slowly, not with fire. This thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Time, but with heat. Deep, grounding, wave-like rhythm. Their bodies moved together with an instinct born not from pain, but from permission. She kissed his neck, then his shoulder, then his lips, long, slow, and open. And when he came this time, it wasn't as a man seeking revenge, but as a man reborn. The end.